In April of 2019, a man in Kenya, a place called Thika, woke up in a hospital bed. First, he didn't recognize where he was, but after some days of doctors' tireless efforts to save him, he came to his senses. Kenothia had suffered a major skull fracture. His face was totally disfigured and he had these bandages all over his body. This was just the beginning of the end of his life and freedom. When Kenothia opened his eyes, police were surrounding him, pointing the barrels of their guns at him. This man is just out of the coma. He first thought it was a bad dream. From there then, Kenothia will never be a free man again. Years later, Kenothia, standing before the court of law in Kenya, would say that he dearly regrets what happened in April 10th of 2019. This is a story of crime. This is a story of crime of passion, money, and love. At the end of this video, I have attached a video of what happened on that day. But before we get into this story, ask the follow button to bend over and pluck an onion, then hit him right on his balls. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel by the name Mr. Cairo for exclusive content like this. That's it. In a small town in Kenya known as Thika is where Kenothia grew up. As a young man with a lot of goals, his parents took him to Joyland Academy, which 20 years later they will regret their decision. Kenothia was an amazing person who loved socializing with people. And it was at this time when he saw a beautiful young lady. Her name was Ivy. She was this young brown lady with this beautiful smile. Kenothia will run to play with her, and soon they will become best friends. It will not take long for Kenothia and Ivy to realize that they lived in this same village and their homes were just 1 kilometer apart. Their parents got to know each other and the friendship culminated. Kenothia completed his primary school, and also Ivy did very well and completed her primary school. Ivy would join Alliance Girls High School in Nairobi, where she would score all A's, and later she will join Moi University to study Bachelor of Medicine and Surgery. However, Kenothia will not do well, but because he was hardworking, he would opt to venture into business. It was at this time that they both professed love for each other and they started dating. Their love would flourish. Kenothia will do a lot for Ivy, who at this time was still a student. He would buy her gifts, he would pay for her campus expenses, and he would always throw parties on her birthdays. They both had made a commitment of marriage immediately Ivy graduates and becomes a surgeon. However, this will not go as planned. Ivy started behaving strangely. She started ignoring Kenothia's phone calls, and after 6 years of dating, and by this time she only had 1 semester to graduate as a doctor, Kenothia, obviously shocked, tried to solve these issues, but all was in vain. Something was amiss. The relationship was sinking. He will travel all the way to Eldoret, but Ivy was completely off. Something was really bothering her. She was completely off with Kenothia. He will try to buy her gifts, but she could not be talked out. Kenothia will try to talk to her friends, but all was in vain. It was at this time that he started threatening her. He was completely stressed. He was wasted. He had wasted all these years in the hope of marriage. And as he would say, he was seeing the relationship was sinking. So he started asking Ivy to refund the cash that he had spent on her for all those years. On April of 2019, it was approaching Ivy's birthday. It was customary for Kenothia to throw her a party, but this time she outrightly declined. Kenothia didn't give up. However, Ivy would accept, but only under one condition. Kenothia had to foot all the birthday bills, which were around 28,000. He, however, didn't have all that, and he immediately sent her half of the money, which was 14,000. When Ivy saw the cash enter her account via the mobile money, she blocked him. This will turn out to be the worst part in Kenothia's life. April 9th was her birthday. Kenothia drove from Thika to Eldoret because he could not trace Ivy via his phone. Ivy had blocked him. He opted to look for her physically. He would say he just wanted to wish her a birthday and deliver the balance of 14,000 for the party, but it will not be so. In his car, he was carrying something that will cost his freedom. Kenothia approached the hostel, and when Ivy saw him, she was completely turned off. Boiling with anger, she approached him and yelled at him, telling him her new boyfriend will take care of the cost of the birthday party. She told him to leave because he was not invited in the party. Ivy wanted nothing to do with Kenothia. In his mind, he felt like a loser. He felt confused and rejected. Ivy was walking away from a relationship which started before they were kids. At this point, Kenothia turned around and started walking away back to his car. As he was walking back to his car, he decided to look at Ivy for the last time, and what he saw made him explode. Right in front of his eyes was Ivy, hugging and holding hands with another man romantically. This exploded and tormented him. I wish he could never look back. What followed would shock the whole country. He immediately got an axe and a knife from his car and charged towards Ivy. Before Ivy saw him, he was already there. He hit Ivy with an axe right on her head, cutting her so badly. Ivy staggered and fell. At this point, he took out the knife from his pocket, knelt down, and holding Ivy's hair, turning her head up to the sky, he slit her throat. Blood gushed out of her like hell. People around saw what Kenothia had done. They ran to rescue Ivy, and it is at this point that Kenothia stood and ran away. Angry mob chased him, caught him, and started beating him with all kinds of things they could find. They wanted to kill him for this heinous act. It was at this time that a man hit him with a block and fractured his skull. He fell down and he became unconscious. Police nearby heard the news. They came in and rescued him. They also took Ivy to the hospital, which was a few meters away. Kenothia will survive, but as for Ivy, she died. She will be buried in an emotional mass in her home in Thika. Her parents would really grieve for the loss of their soon-to-be doctor. Kenothia will be taken to court and he will pledge guilty. In his statement in 2023 March, he said, having supported Ivy financially until her final year and her leaving her made her feel betrayed, he is still in remand waiting for the final judgment. So that's gonna do it. If you are happy with today's episode, kindly consider following me on all social media platforms. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel by the name Mr. Cairo True Crime for more. Until next time, see you.